Okay, guys, so we have technically ran into a small issue when it comes to our coverage over the X-Men. Let me explain. You see, in the 1990s, the X-Men got really popular. I am talking about the idea that we had a lot of different X teams out there. You had Uncanny X-Men, X-Factor, X-Force, Excalibur, Wolverine, Cable. And you also had miniseries as well, like Gambit, Sabretooth, and the list goes on. Really, we're in the early 1990s. By the late 1990s, you have a lot more teams popping out left and right when it came to all the different X titles. But what I mean by all of this was that with everything going on, occasionally you would have writers just write one single story arcs and that is it. So it may seem like we're not covering a lot, but in reality, we are covering a lot. And sometimes you would have different X titles be connected to other X titles as well. Like, for example, Cable and also X-Force. Because by this point in the 1990s, Cable had rejoined X-Force, but at the same time, he had his own solo series. And so occasionally he'll be just leaving the team to handle things on his own, but occasionally come back to work alongside with the team on different kinds of situations. And you see what I mean as we go through today's video, but also other videos as we go through our coverage over the X-Men comics in the 1990s. Now, we're going to cover Cable issue number 5. Now, this is a one-shot story arc where we're going to focus a whole lot more on Cable fighting against a character known as Sinsear. Now, we had actually talked about Sinsear in our first Cable video in his 1993 series. Let me explain. You see, Sinsear is also from the far future where Cable comes from. But here's the thing. Sinsear was sent back in time to go after a rogue agent, better known as Mr. Tolliver. Now, that was another character that we had actually talked about before in our X-Force videos. You see, for Mr. Tolliver, all we knew at first was that he was just some kind of gun merchant that Cable wanted to bring down for many different reasons. But now we're learning that Mr. Tolliver is actually from the future, but on top of that, he is the son of Cable. Now, for Cable, he has no idea that Tolliver was his son in reality. But for right now, for Cable, he believes that Tolliver is dead. But in reality, he's still alive. And that is why Sinsear is here, to go ahead and kill off Tolliver. Now, for Sinsear, he knows that Tolliver is Cable's son. And for Sinsear, he realized that if he is able to kill off Tolliver, it will be the perfect revenge against Cable. Now, we have no idea why Sinsear wants to get revenge against Cable, but this one-shot story arc kind of gives us that information, telling us why the man is trying to get revenge against Cable. And really, we learn the actual origin of Sinsear in 3 single pages. Let me explain. You see, for Sinsear, he was part of an army troop that was fighting in some war in the far future. Now, his troop, they were hit with some kind of bomb. And so when Cable came in as a third party of that war, him and his crew, they believed the entire troop was officially dead. But then Cable realized that one of them was still alive, and that would be Sinsear. Now, for Cable's crew, they're all like, dude, it's badly burned, and most likely he's gonna die down the road. So let's go ahead and put him out of his misery. But for Cable, he's all like, no, that's the wrong thing to do. Maybe, just maybe, he will actually survive if he is found by his army crew. And so you had Cable and his crew just teleport away. Now here comes the big problem though. For Sinsear, he wanted to die because he was badly injured, badly burned. There was nothing left for him. But when he was founded, well, they turned him into a half man, half machine. Technically, a cyborg. And he hates the idea of what he has become. And so that is why he wants to get revenge against Cable. Now, this story arc does pick up shortly after the second chapter of Fatal Attractions and also X-Force issue number 26. Now, remember, in those 2 issues, we saw Magneto badly injured Cable, and it took almost like 86 hours or something for Cable to truly recover. So by this point, he does look perfectly fine, but there's still some things to work out when it comes to his machine half of his body. Like, for example, the whole idea of downloading the professor. Now, remember, the professor is this AI system that he brought with him from the future back in the past. And so right now you have X-Force telling him like, hey, listen, we have Professor, but we still need some more time to make sure that you are perfectly ready to download Professor into your machine half of your body. But while talking to X-Force, that is when he is confronted by a hologram of Sinsear. Now, for Cable, he truly believes that Sinsear is here for him. And technically, yes, Sinsear is here for him, but Cable is Sinsear's second objective, his secondary objective. His first one, his primary one, is to go after Mr. Tolliver. And so you have Sinsear say, look at you. You truly thinking all the way back in time just for you? No, I came here for somebody else. But for right now, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and deal with you. And so you have Sinsear being able to actually teleport Cable away. Just like that, he is gone. Now, once you have Cable arrive at the base of Sinsear, it does lead into an actual battle between both characters. Now, here's the thing. You see, these two characters, they're kind of alike to one another. And what I mean by that statement is that they're both half man, half machine. The only difference is that for Cable, he still believes that he's more man than machine. But for Sinsear, he hates the idea of what he became, and so he believes he's more machine than actual human. And so while you have the two characters fighting against one another, you have Cable trying his best to get through to Sinsear, saying, look, you may think you are machine, but you are more man than machine. Look at you. You are bleeding like a man. You are thinking like a man. You are feeling like a man. Right now, you're no machine. You are a man just like me. And let's not forget, my man inside my body is a mutant. I'm a low-grade telepath. And so it's him telling Sinsear, like, we are just alike. The only difference is that you try to allow yourself to believe that you're no longer human because the way you look. But in reality, you are still a human being with only some cybernetic upgrades, and that is really it. But either way, as the battle goes on between the two characters, once we are able to get to that point where the battle is, well, officially over, you have Sinsear kind of believing the fact that maybe, just maybe, what Cable said could possibly be true, that they are more man than machine. And so for Sinsear, he kind of take those words to heart, but either way, he did lose his battle to Cable, and so he's trying to retreat. But before he does leave, he leaves a piece of information behind for Cable to look at. And a small piece of information is really important. It leads into some crazy things happening both in X-Force and Cable comics, because you had Cable find out that Mr. Tolliver is from the future just like him. Now again, Cable has no idea that Mr. Tolliver is his son Tyler. He has no idea just yet. To him, he believed that Tolliver was just some gun merchant he had to bring down. And that's really it. And so for Cable, is him beginning to find out a whole lot more of different things that are actually connected to him. But this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.